there are quite a few kids in this 2023 recruiting class for South Carolina State on the offensive side of the ball alone who I think could be NFL prospects in the next coming years. But we're going to talk about it, so cue the intro. Welcome back to the BlitzCity Podcast. I'm your host, Kobe Orr, and of course, we are breaking down the 2023 recruiting class for South Carolina State football. This is just part one. We're talking about the offensive signees. The part two video will be the defensive signees. But with that being said, let's get into it. The first guy we're going to talk about, Jalen Linder, wide receiver, Bluffton, South Carolina. Now, Jalen Linder, I put him first. I'm going to talk about him first for a reason, because I truly believe that he is going to be the next Shaq Davis for South Carolina State. He's going to be the next big guy, the next playmaker, the next NFL prospect from South Carolina State football. I truly believe that he is that good. At 6'5", 170 pounds, this man is nothing to play with. He's already 6'5", 170 coming out of high school. Now, of course, he has a lot of time to add more mass to his frame so that he can truly be a great weapon for South Carolina State. But I think him and Andre Washington at quarterback is going to be a tremendous duo. Okay, especially with another receiver they have on this list, who I'm going to talk about in a few minutes. But as for Jalen, he is an all-star wide receiver. I think he's going to be everything for South Carolina State going forward. The only question is, how long will it take him to get on the field? Because if he's one of the kids that I might not even redshirt. Like, I might really see what he got, especially if he's showing out when he first get there. But we'll see. So listen, Jalen Linder in his final season of high school football at Bluffton High School, might I add you. He's a low country kid. I'm from the low country. I even attended Bluffton, so that's why I'm happy to see him here. But 1,139 yards on 55 catches, 14 touchdowns, and he averaged 113 yards per game while totaling 1,300 all-purpose yards on the season. This man is incredible. He's highly productive. He has a Division I body already, which is why he's D1. And like I said, mark my words, he's going to be an NFL guy for South Carolina State. He's going to be the next Shaq Davis. Probably he has the potential to be better than Shaq at South Carolina State. He's going to be that guy. I'm calling it. I love his game. I truly do. After Jalen Linder, we have another guy who is, highly productive. His name is Tyler Smith, and he plays running back. No, not the Tyler Smith that you got last year, who also plays running back from Gaffney High School. No, this Tyler Smith is 6'1", 210 pounds, and he comes from Barnwell, South Carolina. Now, these two Tyler Smiths, one from last year's class and this one, I think they could be a great duo together on top of the other running backs that you guys have. So I know a lot of people are saying South Carolina State, they really piled up a running back. Well, you lost 4 to graduation, and I think you lost 1 to the transfer portal in Kendra Flowers. So this was pretty, this was necessary to stock back up on linebackers. But Tyler Smith, he is arguably one of the best running backs in the state. Not because of his ranking, but because of his production. The rankings ain't going to show it, but the production will. This man had 2,903 yards in a season. 2,903 yards. Now, he also had 47 touchdowns to go with that. That was his final season in high school football. After that, in 2 years, in back-to-back years, junior, senior year, he totaled 5,000 yards rushing, 78 touchdowns on the ground. Y'all, if that doesn't scream workhorse in production, I don't know what does. This man is a hard-nosed runner who may not look like he's running fast, but he's moving. He is moving, okay? Tyler Smith, he's going to be that guy. That's all I can say about Tyler Smith. We have Nigel Johnson, the other side of this dynamic duo that I think could pair with Jalen Linder and even Cyrus Ellison and Shamonte Burgess from last year's class. So Nigel is 6'4", 185 pounds, and he attended Crestwood High School in Sumter, South Carolina. Now, the interesting thing about Nigel is that he is 6'4", but runs a 4.5 in the 40. So the man's pretty fast. He's so fast that his speed allows him to stretch the field for big plays. I'm going to tell you what I mean by that. His stats in his final year: 29 receptions, right? Which when you listen to it, you might think, well, that's not really a lot. It's average. Okay, yeah, 600 yards to go with those 29 catches. So this man is productive. What that stat line tells you is that this man, with the catches that he gets, he makes something happen. It's big plays galore with Nigel. Okay, that's what you're going to get with him. Big plays galore, all right? Big body receiver at 185, but him and Jalen going to be crazy together. He even played quarterback at the North-South All-Star game. The man is a true athlete, all right? So after Nigel, you got a transfer that you got from the Power 5 level and the FCS level. His name is Keyshawn Tony, and he attended the University of South Carolina, and he also attended the University of Tennessee, Chattanooga. Now, Keyshawn Tony is 6'2", 237 pounds. I already told you the schools that he came from. When he came out of high school, I believe he was one of the best tight ends or the best prospects in the state. And for some reason, he decided to transfer from the University of South Carolina. I guess it just didn't work out, but he attended the University of Tennessee, Chattanooga. As a transfer, he played in 11 games, had 6 starts where he totaled 8 receptions for 116 yards. So now he's coming to South Carolina State. He's back home in the Palmetto State now. I think he's a great get. I think this new scenery for him being back home, he can really make something happen with the Bulldogs. But time will tell. We'll find out and see. I think this is just a great move for Buddy Pugh, and I'm glad that they went out and got him. After Keyshawn Tony, we got Marcus Macon, offensive guard from Northwestern High School. Now, when you hear Northwestern High School, you know this is a high school in the state of South Carolina that has put out a bunch of Division I talent, almost a powerhouse. It's a storied program in the state of South Carolina. So you're already happy that you get a guy coming from there. But he's 6'2", 286 pounds. Him being 6'2" tells you automatically he's an interior offensive lineman. He will be playing guard. He's from Rock Hill, South Carolina. He's an all-region player. He's not bad getting to the second level. When you look at it, most important about him is that he does not shy away from contact. So when it comes to him, Marcus, he's going to be a great player in the future for South Carolina State, solidifying that offensive line because, again, you need to be good in the trenches to win games, okay? So after Marcus, we got Kanan Legions. I know I'm pronouncing that name wrong. I know I am. But so, homie, if you're listening, I'm very sorry. But Kanan Legions is an offensive guard. He's 6'3", 285 pounds, and he is from Ridge Spring Monetta High School from Monetta, South Carolina. Now, the thing about Kanan is that he was an all-state player, but he played both ways in high school. A true definition of an Iron Man, okay? The man never left the field. He played offensive line, he played defensive line. So what side of the ball he'll be on for South Carolina State, but it'll most likely be offensive line going in. He's going to have that advantage because he knows the mentality of both ways because he played both ways, okay? So he was an all-state player. When I look at his tape, I think he has quick feet. And that's also been said about him in the papers, and that he's also very strong. He's a very strong individual, strong as an ox or a bull, I think they compared him to. So he's coming in with great strength. He gets that college weight room system into him. He'll be even stronger. He'll be even better. It could probably help him get him on the field even sooner, to be honest with you. So he has quick feet. He's very strong, and this dude really likes to take him to the bus. When I watch this tape, what it reminds me of is The Blind Side, the Michael Orr movie, when, Michael took the kid over the fence, and the coach was like, what were you trying to do? And he was like, I'm trying to take him to the bus, coach. Like, that's what Kanan does. Like, he's either going to bury you in the ground if he can't put you on skates. So I'm glad that they got it in him. So Kanan, I think he's going to be on the field first out of all the offensive linemen on this list, but I could be wrong. I'm just speculating. Next up, we got Juwan Howell. Now, here's the thing about Juwan Howell. This kid is very talented, just like all the running backs on this list. He's a running back, 6'1", 205 pounds. He's coming from Mooresville High School, and he is from Mooresville, North Carolina. Now, Juwan was very decorated in his career at high school. I think he was an RNL County Player of the Year. He averaged 7.2 yards per carry. I think that's the stat that sticks out the most. This man made the most of his carries in high school, averaging 7 yards. What coach doesn't love that? That's almost a first down every carry. So 7.2 yards a carry. He ran for 1,811 yards, 22 touchdowns on 250 carries. So not bad at all. On top of that, his best game of the season, he had 285 yards, so almost 300, on 29 attempts, and he also had 3 touchdowns to go with that. So here's a guy who makes the most of his carries. He's bigger, right? At 6'1", 205, you put that weight on him, who knows what he can be for South Carolina State. This is a team who, again, lost 4 running backs to graduation, lost 1 to the transfer portal, so you need to rebuild and find out who your star is going to be. After Juwan Howell, we got a tight end, Nicholas Brown. Here is a kid with a lot of potential to be very great. So Nicholas Brown is 6'3", 225 pounds, and he is coming from Kings Tree High School out of Kings Tree, Georgia. Now, the thing about Nicholas Brown, during his career in high school, and when you're watching this tape, you're going to see some clips of him on defense, and that's because he played 3 positions in high school: wide receiver, tight end, and outside linebacker. But he will be moving to tight end when he steps on the campus at South Carolina State. Now, if they choose to move him, we'll see. But that's just what he's going to be when he steps on, we project. So he played 3 positions, never left the field, as you can see. He was second on the team in tackles as outside linebacker. This man totaled 71 tackles, which was the second most on his team. He was a touchdown club all-area member, and he had so much interest from Division I schools, from FBS Division I schools, Coastal Carolina, Eastern Michigan, the Gamecocks, Miami, Ohio. He could have been an FBS prospect, an FBS player, but he chose to come to South Carolina State, and I honestly love when that happens. I love to see more of that. Next up, we have a kid who I am just completely a fan of, right? His name is Malcolm Cochran. What's special about Malcolm Cochran? Well, to me, and this is just my opinion, Malcolm Cochran reminds me of Dalvin Cook. And that is high praise that I'm giving this kid who hasn't even played a snap in college football yet. He reminds me of Dalvin Cook. When I see him, I see how fast he hits holes. And I see the breakaway speed afterwards. Oh my God, the getaway speed is something to admire. It is really something to admire. I say to myself, he could really be a star with whoever he's paired up against in that backfield. He could really be a star. So listen, as far as his measurables, like his height and weight, for some reason I could not find that on the internet. It wasn't even on his huddle. So I don't know his height and weight. But what I can tell you is that he is from Richmond County, Georgia. All right, he hits the hole fast. Like I said, great breakaway speed. And he reminds me of Dalvin Cook. That's all you need to know. The cut ability, everything you need in a running back, an explosive running back, Malcolm Cochran has it. So I think he will be a star for South Carolina State. And then you get another running back after Malcolm Cochran by the name of Casey Fields. Casey Fields is coming from the low country. Again, I'm from the low country. I love to see it. Casey Fields is 6 feet, 195 pounds. All right, a running back from Beaufort High School. Shout out to Beaufort. Just won the state championship this past year. So here's the thing with Casey, right? He did not start at the beginning of the season, and he finished the season with 2,000 yards rushing. He did not start and finish the season with 2,000 yards rushing. On top of that, he managed to make himself an all-region player with his play during his senior year. And that's not even the main thing. They made it all the way to the state championship, and they won that game on the back of him. Somebody told me they don't even think his team threw a pass in the state championship game. This man had 300 yards rushing in the state title, projecting his team to the win. So you got 300 yards in the state championship game. I don't know for sure if he won MVP, but let's be honest, who else would win MVP over him if he ran for 300 yards in the state championship game and got the win? So Casey Fields is a highly productive running back that you're getting to go in that backfield with that already crowded talent. The thing is, he can also play receiver if you need him to. So we'll see who stays in running back and who has to switch positions. It's going to be a lot of competition with these sophomores and these incoming freshmen. Well, these redshirt freshmen and these incoming freshmen. So last but not least, we got offensive lineman Jeremy Brown, who, in my opinion, will be an offensive tackle because he is 6'5", 280 pounds, and he is coming from Westside High School. Now, Jeremy Brown is another kid. Out of all these kids, there was 2 who I just couldn't find a lot of information on. Jeremy Brown is the second kid who I could not find a lot of information on. When you Google him, an interview will come up, after him signing with South Carolina State, and even when you check his huddle, it's just a few clips. It's not a lot. So Jeremy Brown, 6'5", 280 pounds. He's a big body guy who can really, really move the pile if you need him to. He looks athletic enough, but like I said, that's just not enough on him. However, I do think in the little clips that I did see, this is a guy who they went in person to scout and they were highly impressed with. And I think they could really develop him to be something. 6'5", 280, that's a great start to build off of for an incoming freshman. So there you have it, South Carolina State. This is a very promising class for you guys, and we'll see in a couple of years how these kids turn out. That's the thing about South Carolina State's recruiting classes. Not a lot of guys who can come in right away. They don't really hit the transfer portal that hard, so there's not a lot of guys coming in who can help you right away. You're gonna have to wait a couple of years, but they do blossom into stars, into NFL prospects. So we'll see. We'll see who gets to get playing time off the bat and who will redshirt. But the overall theme of this class is quality over quantity. I truly believe that. With that being said, look out for part 2 for the defensive side of the ball for South Carolina State. Y'all signees for 2013 is on the way. Like I said, this takes a long time to make, but it's on the way. With that being said, y'all are watching the BlitzCity Podcast. I'm your host, Kobe Orr, and I'm out. Peace.